leading to reforms and collapse. And so I wouldn't be surprised that there are people in the IMF who've had enough of squeezing and trampling the poor. At some point, some people are affected by that and reform themselves. And there is perhaps a struggle going on in the IMF, but I suspect that's now over. Because it's not just the arrest, it's the way he is pronounced to be guilty before any evidence is in. I mean, no one's seen the maid. we assume she exists. And who else wants to take on that role and be faced with similar treatment? So it's a huge warning shot to reformers to shut up and get back in line, or you'll be next.
Expanding on that, it certainly sends a message across the board, and we dovetail it with the Indiana Supreme Court ruling last week, and I read the judge's statement in the winning ruling, saying police can now enter your home for any reason, including no reason at all. That's a quote. And the U.S. Supreme Court said they can listen at your door. Do they hear sounds that could be hiding drugs, ruffling, or any sounds at all? They can come in without warrants. And they're now announcing, yes, we're going to continue to expand sneak and peeks and non-terror related, and that now even local jurisdictions are using it outside of the feds. I mean, it's just a complete abolition of everything. And you see whether Khan is guilty or innocent, if he's not given due process, he has to be set free. Better 10 guilty men go free than one innocent man go to prison. That's always been the maxim of liberty and common sense. And there is a war, a conscious war. I have an Indiana sheriff saying we're now going to do door-to-door gun searches of homes. We no longer need warrants. That they're announcing their avarice-filled, tyrant-filled desire to run wild over us, Dr. Roberts.
Yes, the Fourth Amendment's gone. In fact, look, Alex, this is the subject of my book, The Tyranny of Good Intentions, that went through 2 editions and a number of printings, that we've lost the protection of law. The constitutional amendments that can comprise the Bill of Rights are simply eroded. And I'm sure you're aware that of the recent reports from Tennessee television stations about the police in Tennessee stopping traffic on I-40 and taking everybody's money on the grounds that if you have cash, it's an indication that you just sold drugs, and that's drug money. And the reports are that the various police jurisdictions are almost coming to blows between themselves over who gets to disrupt this traffic and take the money. And one of the small jurisdictions has already seized $1 million from motorists. And they go out there and just have blanket traffic stops and go through people's wallets, take their money. This is happening right now. And I can remember in my book, I tell the case of when this was happening in Florida a number of years ago. So you're right. There's really no restrictions any longer on police, what they do. They're unaccountable. And there's no real inclination to hold them accountable. The conservative war on crime has unleashed police and created a monster. And it's very interesting that the Supreme Court, by an 8-to-1 vote, gave even more power to the police, powers that you just described, because they can say, oh, we heard somebody flushing the toilet, so that meant the drugs were going down the toilet, so we had the right to bust in. So there's no longer any constraints, and people just seem to be at ease with this. They don't seem to be.
And now they're announcing the austerity. In Europe, they're going after private pension funds, 100% your money. They're now telling us to get rid of and cut the public pension funds. here, but don't stop any of the banker bailouts or corporate welfare. We're going into austerity. The ruling class knows they've committed all these crimes, and they've decided to protect themselves and continue on by consciously setting up a police state. How do we counter this?
I don't really know, Alex. But you're certainly right. That's what's happening. Look, can you remember a decade or two back, the junk bond king, Michael Milken?
Yeah.
Well, he had done absolutely nothing, though everyone thinks he was convicted of insider trading. That's false. That was a rumor that Giuliani put out.
Stay there, Dr. Roberts. We're going to come right back and finish that story, get a brief update on the latest bin Laden fables. They've now admitted just the whole story's fake up one side and down the other. But so what? From the grave, he says he agrees with the revolutions in the Middle East that are U.S. and funded. Amazing. We'll be right back with Dr. Paul Craig Roberts. Stay with us.
Will I have garlic breath after I take Ali C?
We get that question all the time about the world's best garlic extract, Ali C. And the answer is, Ali C contains stabilized allicin, nature's antimicrobial agent, and the active ingredient in crushed garlic, but will not give you garlic breath. Scientifically proven in double-blind studies, using low doses of allicin greatly reduces the number, severity, and duration of common colds. Our powerful Ali C contains 300 milligrams of stabilized allicin. Just one tablet of Ali C is equivalent to 40 garlic cloves. It's effective against asthma, MRSA, bacterial, fungal, and viral infections, and helps lower high blood pressure and high cholesterol. Plus, it's a natural mosquito repellent. Boosts resistance to infection with nature's best garlic extract, Ali C. For more information and to order Ali C, call 877-888-7126 or go to garlichealthproducts.com. That's 877-888-7126 or garlichealthproducts.com. Fight back with Ali C.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Did you know that the global elite are now storing non-hybrid seeds in secret storage vaults near the Arctic Circle? Did you know that in a real meltdown, non-hybrid seeds can become more valuable than silver or gold? It's true, seeds have outperformed even gold and silver before in this country, and it's possible that could even happen again. So our friends at Solutions from Science have put together the perfect mix of non-hybrid seeds. They call it a survival seed bank, and it can produce an endless supply of nutrient-dense food for you and your family. And here's the best part. These seeds have not been genetically modified in any way, and you actually get enough seeds to plant a full-acre crisis garden. So visit them today at survivalseedbank.com. That's survivalseedbank.com, or give them a call at 877-327-0365. That's 877-327-0365. Remember, in a real crisis, non-hybrid seeds are the ultimate barter item. This is Alex Jones for survivalseedbank.com.
Economists, politicians, and even the average citizen can agree we may only be days or weeks away from the next terrible event that could literally change the face of life as we know it. Learn the secrets of the world's top survival and preparedness experts at the DFW Marriott in Dallas, Texas for the 2011 International Survival and Preparedness Conference on Memorial Day weekend, May 28th through 30th. Register at survivalist.com or toll free 866-437-6570 before time runs out. That's survivalist.com.
Hi, this is Ted Anderson. Have you ever wondered why banks, stockbrokers, investment advisors won't talk about gold IRAs? They've been available since 1986, yet the financial industry won't recognize the value of gold for your retirement. Gold has outperformed paper investments, yet no word about IRAs. If you would like to have gold for your retirement, call 800-686-2237. Don't get left behind by rising inflation and low returns. Call 800-686-2237. Secure your future and call 1-800-686-2237.
Look, folks, if you're amazed by our decline into absolute despotism, don't be. The founders pointed it out. It's historical fact. Tyranny is the norm. And we're going to get a particularly nasty version of tyranny because we're so naive, because we're Americans and it can't happen here. I mean, the police don't secretly all over the country take $100, $1,000 out of your wallet. Just no drugs, no arrest. They publicly do it. Public schools don't watch kids at home over their government laptops in the shower or in the bed. Secretly, they brag about it. The TSA doesn't secretly stick their hands down your child's pants. They do it publicly. So there's an open breaking of the will happening, but I see a huge awakening happening, and tyranny will just continue until it finally collapses. Dr. Roberts, in closing, always great to have you. Appreciate your wonderful articles. You write for Infowars.com and PrisonPundit.com and thousands of other great sites out there. And your tireless dedication to liberty. I was on vacation for a couple of days, but listening to you while on the Texas beach with Paul Watson, just laying out the bin Laden situation. We've only got about 3 minutes left. Any other points on that subject?
Yes, Alex, you know, a very important point is that there's been no White House ceremony with the president conveying medals on these heroic SEALs who captured and killed the world's most dangerous man. Now, what president would miss a public relations opportunity like that? It's just unbelievable.
Or the body, or throwing it in the ocean, or a photo.
Yes, of course. But we've already covered that and mentioned that. But this is something I've not seen anyone say anything about, and I didn't stick it in my columns. But surely, with the SEALs' triumphant return, they would have been awarded medals in the White House by the president before a national TV audience.
And they would have retired that group of SEALs. They say, well, they're so secretive in their missions, you can't see them. He would have at least had the secret ceremony with them being brought in and then coming out and thanking them. Oh, it's unbelievable.
Listen, they wouldn't, he would sacrifice the SEALs for the publicity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Now, some people say, oh, well, they had to hide the SEALs because these brave men would be marked by Al-Qaeda and terminated. Really, I really believe that Al-Qaeda is going to penetrate the bases and get the SEALs. But I think that is another giveaway. Now, you may know as well that recently the Pakistani news agency, the equivalent to the BBC in Pakistan, put out a news report from eyewitnesses whom they identified and had speaking on camera that there were 3 helicopters, only one landed. And 12 people got out, went in the house, came back, and the people got in the helicopter, and as it lifted off, it exploded, and every man was killed. There were dead bodies everywhere, pieces of bodies.
And that's exactly how they operate. That's exactly what they would do. Send the SEALs out on a drill, blow it up, and then say they got bin Laden. I mean, of course they're going to kill the witnesses. I mean, that's the only way that they operate. That's standard.
Well, you know, it's hard to know what's true and what's not true. It's hard to know why the Pakistan would put out a false story like that. We've got no way of knowing. But what we do know is that nobody in the American media asked about it or looked into it or said, could anything like this have happened? Is this the reason there's no body? Is this the reason there are no SEALs getting medals? I mean, what? So who knows? But there's so many things that we just overlook. There's so much potential evidence, different explanations, and they never even get into the public's consciousness.
Now, we're told just believe whatever government tells you, even though they have a history of congenital lying. Paul Craig Roberts, thank you so much for spending time with us. Look forward to speaking to you in the near future.
Same here, Alex.
We'll be right back with Dr. Steve Pieczenik on the other side. Stay with us.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
It could never happen in America, but it's happening right now. Gas prices are exploding past the incomes of millions of families. As gas prices and crop failures push high food cost, you can still get the best food on the planet from eFoodsDirect.com. Demand for food is high, but eFoods Direct has plenty of radiation-free food to meet your needs. With our new triple production capacity, you will get the fastest shipments of food in the country to help you get the most food possible. When you order 3 of any qualified pack, you will get the 4th one absolutely free. That's the buy 3, get the 4th free food special. Your immediate order will not only freeze the present low food prices, but also guarantee your food availability. Folks, I'm telling you, it is the smart move to go to eFoods Direct right now and buy 3 of any qualified item and receive the 4th one free. Get the most for your food dollar by calling 800-409-5633 or on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. That's 800-409-5633 or on the web at efoodsdirect.com/Alex.
Waging War on Corruption. Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.